and welcome to Big Bore Knife and Gear. Today we're going to talk about Eafengrows knives, and three of them in particular. So all three of these Eafengrows are still available on Amazon. Collectively, I bought all three at the same time. Ran me about $82 total with shipping and tax. They all came in a box just like this. So let's get this out of the way. And we'll start with a little introduction to the three models that I got. The reason I got these was to test them out to see if I wanted to get the actual production or custom version of what these are. These are, I guess you'd say, clones. They're not copies, or I shouldn't say not copies. They're not true rip-offs. There's no markings on it saying that it's not what it is. And the difference is, if you know the difference between these and what they're trying to kind of copy, are completely noticeable. There's no way that the average person that knows what these knives are would ever think that they were an original. Well, I'll just say it. These are all clones of Microtechs that I really want to get in my hands. But here we go. The first one is the EF335. This is the clone version of the Microtech Strider collaboration called the DOC. This is the EF39, which is a clone of the Microtech sigil. And then the EF55, which is a kind of a clone of the Microtech Matrix. The originals of this, the Microtech or the Marfione custom versions, they can range from $1,000 to $2,000, depending on the one you get. So before spending all that money, I wanted to see how these would actually kind of feel and fit in my hand. Out of the three, two of them are pretty. One's actually really good. One is mediocre, and one is just complete trash. I hate to say it, but I mean, come on. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. That's not me. So let's start with the one that's actually a very well-built knife. That's going to be the 335, the imitation of the DOC. This is a big, beastly knife. Has some nice heft to it. The overall design is very, very similar to the Microtech version. You can deploy it two ways, flipper tab or thumb stud. This thing fires out very well. This one actually fits and feels really good in hand. It's got a pretty decent lockup of about 25%. No blade play. It came very sharp. The grinds on this are actually done very well. The fit and finish on it's pretty decent. Just like the Microtechs, this does come with a very similar style proprietary hardware, actually on all three of these knives. They do include the tool with each knife to actually remove and disassemble the knife, which is cool. Obviously, the fit and finish of this compared to what it's trying to imitate is, night and day, nowhere even close to the same. But again, this one actually feels good, deploys good. The action on it's actually pretty dang good. This one actually is a pretty damn good knife. The second one, this one is a mediocre knife. And again, combined with shipping and taxes, I think I paid $82 total for all three. I believe this one was around $30. These two were around the 20-ish mark. Then you had a little bit of shipping and some tax. This one, G10 as well. If I didn't say, G10 scale is very nice. The overall look of this is pretty decent. There is some... Let's see if you can hear that. You guys hear that? Okay, let's flip this open. This one In hand feels pretty good. Lockup on this, again, about 25-ish%. The lockup is good. Ergos on this are good. The blade grind is actually pretty decent. The blade edge is horrible. The grooves that are cut out here haven't been milled at all. This thing is extremely sharp. I mean, if you ran your finger over this a little too fast, it would actually slice you open. This thing feels like the detent ball is rubbing just straight on the blade. I didn't take it apart. It feels like there is no detent ball track cut onto the blade. It is gritty. It feels like it's grinding. It just has a horrible, horrible feel to it. Yeah. Other than that issue of the horrible, horrible feel and the fact that these cutouts are not milled on the edges whatsoever, and it is literally extremely sharp. Let's see. I just cut part of my fingernail off. Other than those two issues, it actually feels and functions pretty well. Pretty nice job. Other than those two major issues. Again, the compound grind on the blade is actually done pretty decent. The edge grind is kind of horrible, but it is what it is. These were not going to be made for use. Well, let me rephrase that. I was not going to use these for anything other than just to see how they felt in hand and overall dimensions. That's going to bring us to the third one. This is the EF39. This is the Eafengrows version of the Sigil by Microtech. This one, again, appearance-wise is similar. Let me try that again. The detent on this is so horribly bad that there it goes. That it is so horribly bad and weak that unless you really flick this, you will I can't even speak. This just makes me laugh. It's comical. Unless you really use force, you will fail this almost every time trying to deploy it. It is that bad. This one's actually a frame lock version. It's very easy to spidey flick because there's basically almost no detent, so you can get some pretty good force to deploy it. The action on this is okay as far as smoothness. Lockup on this about 35-40%. Ergonomics wise, it feels good in hand. The blade grind on this, pretty good job. The blade edge, pretty good job. All three of these knives came extremely sharp, even though the edge grind on this one is not very good as far as being consistent. This thing is as tight as it will go. Blade centering is pretty good, but this thing has so much blade play that it's ridiculous. Again, I got these to not really use them for anything. They were just for reference to see if I wanted to spend a lot of money on the actual versions of these, the real deals. This one I don't think I showed you, but I might have. This one locks up great. No blade play whatsoever. Again, between the three, I am going to keep this one because this is actually a very well-made knife. Centering is spot on. Deployment, fantastic. Detent's great. That one is actually a winner, even though it is technically a clone of another knife. But Again, it is not really trademarked, or I shouldn't say trademarked. They're not badging this in any way that makes you think it's anything other than, you know, an Eafengrow. So this one, similar to this as far as blade play goes. Centering is pretty good. Again, you can see just how bad the grind is for the edges. Look at the tip. This one as well has some pretty bad side-to-side blade play. This one again, horribly sharp edges. Overall, for what I got these for, they were fantastic. And what I got them for, again, was just reference for me, so I could make a decision on whether or not I was going to drop, you know, $800 to $2,000 on various versions of these knives. So, in closing, really good job. Mediocre, horribly bad. I don't want to put anybody's company down or anything. I'm still going to buy a few more different Eafengrows of their own design that doesn't really imitate too many things. But out of the three I got, one's really good, one's mediocre, one is complete trash. I hope you guys found this informative. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment because I love the feedback. And until next time, take care.